Alors, bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à l'Académie des Trois Talents. Je suis ici avec Sergine Dumais. Sergine est présentement dans son appartement à Los Angeles. Look, I'm feeling very privileged that you took time with me today because I know how busy you are. I'm with an award-winning director that's from here, that's from Montreal, and doing wonderful things in LA. Sergine, merci d'avoir pris le temps de me parler et de répondre à mes questions aujourd'hui.
Toujours. Je fais toujours, je prends toujours le temps pour toi.
Ah,
Non, mais c'est vrai, c'est important. Puis, je veux dire, le travail que tu fais pour Montréal, c'est le genre de truc que si j'avais pas eu des gens sur ma route qui avaient offert des outils comme toi, tu offres à la nouvelle génération, ça ne serait pas arrivé. Donc, je comprends ta mission et je la soutiens et puis je vais toujours prendre le temps pour toi.
oh, merci, Sergine. Puis tu as tellement bien dit ça. Puis merci d'encourager parce que moi, je vois qu'est-ce que la relève, les breakthroughs, comment on dit ça en français, les breakthroughs qui arrivent dans le cours avec toi. Parce que tu es en train de chercher le mot, hein?
Ouais, comment on dit ça, des breaks? Ah, mon Dieu, c'est épouvantable.
Oui, je sais, on va voir. C'est ça la beauté de Montréal. We're bilingual. Le cours se donne, que ce soit vous êtes des francophones, des artistes déjà connus à Montréal, parce que le prochain cours avec toi, c'est des artistes connus qui sont dans ton cours, qui veulent apprendre le dubbing avec toi. Pas seulement t'enseignes, mais parce que tu es directrice, tu nous donnes encore un autre niveau de comment c'est vraiment sur le plateau, parce que tu as dirigé des acteurs, tu diriges que des acteurs toujours, ou des chanteurs, ou des productions, ou en film. So, tu en fais beaucoup et tu nous donnes vraiment des bons points, how to get there fast, you know? Parce que quand tu as les bons outils, la base, you could actually take Sergine's class even if you're a beginner, but you need to have some kind of backup to understand where she's going to bring you. Alors, Sergine, can you explain to us what's your method? What do you teach in class? What, the action verbs and everything you've learned. Let me hear about how you started and how you ended up where you are now.
Well, first of all, I disagree with you a little bit that you could not be a beginner and because it's pretty basic what I teach. I teach the foundation of acting pretty much. Pretty much we're doing acting 101. Okay, so these are the main tools and we do it all over again. You could compare it to like a ballet class where you work on your base. And of course, if someone is more advanced, they come back and they work on their base. They take it to a completely different level. So of course, it's advanced in a way that what we do, whether in musical theater or in voice acting, there's an added difficulty, there's an added challenge to what we have to do as an actor, because now we don't have, for a beginning actor, if you put them on stage in a scene with a scene partner, there's an instinct that can kick in and they understand, they can rely on, they can listen to their scene partner, they can, if they have a connection to the character, they can kind of, ride that wave. In musical theater or in voice acting, you're all alone in studio. You don't have your scene partner. Now you have to do this voice on top of it. So that's why it's pretty, it can feel like it's more advanced, but we're really working on the foundation.
I love how you bring it back to the simplicity. You bring it back to the simplicity. I jumped at it because I see what's happening in your class. And even if you start as a beginner with Sergine, you're going to get a lot. And if you go back to her every year, you should actually always be in her class, but you will see the growth. Oh my God, it's really a huge growth. That's what happens. It's like they can't get enough of Sergine. That's what happens. They can't get enough of you when it's applied right. So let's speak about your method. How do you teach this? What do you teach? Why do you teach this?
Okay. So, and again, I don't think that this is my method.
No.
But yeah, more specifically, of course, I have a big influence from my teachers, the people that have taught me over the years. One of my biggest influence was Elaine Petrikov. She was my musical theater teacher at AMDA. And she uses a chart similar to the one that I've been using for 20 years. And it's pretty much just, it allows for you, because you have to do the foundation work as an actor. You have to prepare, you know, the way that a singer would do their vocal warm-up to prepare their voice to be ready to go and sing any given song. There's a warm-up, you know, there's something that people can work out. If you play an instrument, or if you're a dancer, you can do your training and you can work your muscles. So now when you're performing, you're ready to go. So it's a way, because actors, they tend not to do that. You know, if you think of triple threats, you look at how, you know, people work on their instrument for their voice or for their dancing. And for acting, unless they're actually working or they're doing a scene, they don't really have this discipline at home to say, I'm going to work on my acting chops for an hour each day. People tend not to do that. So the chart is, it was helpful to me, because you have all the things you should think about to prepare as an actor, but it's all visually on one. Did I check that? Did I ask myself this question? Did I think of, what's a verb? You know, we work with action verbs a lot, which is a great tool. Instead of asking yourself, how am I supposed to feel? Which is not really a playable choice. You know, you can't force yourself to feel a certain way. Or if you start saying, well, the way I'm feeling now is probably wrong, you're not in a good creative place to respond in the moment. Whereas if you think of, what am I doing? What does my character want, and what is she doing? Is she pleading? Is she begging? Is she, you know, is she judging? So now it's a kind of tool that you can, by working on it, and it doesn't matter what choices you make, but by working on this part of yourself that knows I can try different, I have choices, and just to practice doing it all the time, then it becomes easier. If a director tells you, why don't you just beg him on that line, or why, you know, so you become used to doing it as opposed to what, you know.
Yes.
So I would say it's my method, using all the foundation, the tools, the foundation of acting. What's my objective? What's an as if, you know, the magic as if.
As if.
You know, how do I connect to this situation? Or how can I, what's my hook? How can I make this moment personal to me? What's my personal connection to it? And if I don't have one, what can I imagine, you know? Like we say, well, it would be as if my dog died, or it would be as if, you know, sometimes we have to imagine horrible things, but so instead of just being a concept, that's what's happening in the scene, you really bring it to you, you know, to imagine, how can I make this moment personal? So it's pretty much, it's pretty much that, you know, what's happening in different beats, but we put it all on one chart so that it's simpler, and so that we can just say, okay, this is my homework. And then once the preparation is done, it's like, okay, where am I now? How can I use this in a moment?
Yeah, and
so in short, that's what it is.
Yeah, it works well. And where does this come from? The action verbs? I just want to make sure that we acknowledge the names. It was created where, or where?
Oh my God, the action verbs. I mean, if you look at any book about acting, I think it's mentioned. They would, if you look at, you know, Stanislavski, that, you know, an actor prepares, they talk about action verbs and objectives. So in any given scene, the character wants something from the other character. There's some sort of a conflict, and what the action verbs they're doing is a strategy to get what they want.
Right.
So it's like, it comes from the beginning of the first person to ever teach acting thought action verbs.
The action verb. And I see it, like, I mean, when you apply, because you're a director, you see actors coming in, and let's say you don't have a whole day, right, on set, or in like you do a lot of dubbing, you direct a lot of dubbing, right? So English movies in French, or French and English.
Also, and Russian movies into English, and
You do it
Japanese
all.
movies into English. Yeah.
So if they tell you, Sergin, you have an hour, you need to know how to direct this actor in an hour, because if, or else what would happen? Like, how can something go totally wrong in a session, in a recording session?
Well, they say that 80% of directing is casting. So you cast if you know you're going to have 1 hour, you cast the person, you know that they're going to be able to knock it out in 1 hour.
So important what you just said. So there you go. That's your answer for everybody that says, I don't know why I don't work. Are you ready to do it in an hour? Are you ready to show up and give the director what they need? And if not, what are you going to do about it, right? Okay, that's good. It's a good point. I think I had to raise that question because we hear that a lot. But then they think they have the tools, but they are not practicing. Just like you were saying, a dancer, you practice your plie every day because you will see your flexibility throughout the weeks and the months to come. It's the same thing for an actor. Okay, and when so in order to direct an actor, when you use the action verb, you're able to nail it right away, right? You're just like, no. Like if you would have to direct me right now and I have to go in places, you would direct me how?
So, well, the action verb is a very good tool for directors, because it solves all sorts of problems, you know. Like, for example, as an actress, I've been told, you know, I would do a scene and the director would say, no, don't do it sexy. She's not supposed to be sexy. And I was like, I was not trying to do it sexy at all. Right. So that was an objective, whatever came out of it. So now it's like we do it again. And now I come in, and now my intention is to not to be sexy. So I'm a little robotic. Do you see how it's making my performance worse and worse and worse?
Right.
Okay. So so a good idea, a good alternative for that director would have been, oh, it seems like you're charming him a little bit. Instead of charming him, why don't you really, you know, like really attack him, or really kind of, you know, judge him, or whatever he wanted different. If he gave me something else to do, then I would not have been in my, so then I can, you can say 1, 2, 3 and pray. 1, 2, 3, pray. Okay. Oh, please, God, please. I can do that. 1, 2, 3, you know, accuse someone. You did this. So now I'm not thinking, okay, I better not be sexy on this line. You did you know, if the director was, if it came across and he wanted me to do something different,
Right.
Or if you want the scene to go somewhere else, you can ask the actor, you can give the actor a different verb, and they can try it. I mean, we saw in class last week how, or if you want the you know, the performance to be more exciting, there was this girl who was doing the thing from Hairspray. It's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Good morning, Baltimore. I'm excited. And then just for it to have a little journey, now you can celebrate on this line. Oh my God, I'm so happy. And then on this other line, why don't you brag a little? So it goes, oh my God, I'm so happy. Look at my hair, look at my shirt. So now now you can have more colors.
It brings personality out. And what I also like about this technique, because I love watching, I learned so much by watching. I'm like, wow, and you're there. And that's another thing I love about our class. It's like you're there with them. Oh my God, they're getting it. And you get chills. We're constantly getting chills when they get there. And then they surprise themselves, because it's not like doing a performance and you're so proud of your performance. No, it's because now we're feeling it. And this is where, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but if I would be an artist right now on set and I had these tools to apply, I would not take it as personal when a director would come to me saying something, because then I would know myself and go, oh, great. Okay, so do you want me to do this? I feel like I would be ready to attack my tool, my artist person, the artist I am, I would be ready to give what they're asking me instead of taking it personal that, oh, maybe I'm not good enough for this. I don't know. This is how I feel with using something like this. I would feel more connected because I have a technique, because I'm a dancer. I have a technique to bring me to where I need to go.
Yeah, when in doubt or when you're in trouble, an action, or even if the director would be saying, no, I don't know, it's not working, just try something else, or just do it better. Let's say they were a bad director. You could ask yourself, okay, what am I doing in terms of a verb right now, and how can I offer something different? So if I have been, kind of begging on this, I could, sometimes there are lines where you think my character is just, he's saying, I'm gonna kill you. So he's for sure, he's threatening, and it's like, I'm gonna kill you. And the director is like, no. So ask yourself, what am I doing? Okay, I'm threatening. What's an opposite? What's a different, let's say I'm charming. I'm charming someone, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So they might go, oh wow, that was full of life. Or so instead of saying, oh, I don't understand what he wants, you can just say, look, it's like you're a waiter at a restaurant, and it's like, would you like some hors d'oeuvres? And people are like, no. Maybe you present something else, and people, they go, oh, actually I like that. Just try something else.
So you as a director, you like an artist coming in, you won't be hard with them. You just more like, present me something, bring me something, offer me something on the table so I can play with you. So because if they like close in, then you have nowhere to go, right? As a director, because that's what we need to know. How does a director feel when you see the artist close in? Like, how do you deal with all that? What do you want to see when you hire somebody?
So first of all, the director, they want to collaborate with you. They don't want a puppet that they can tell what to do. They want an artist that's gonna go, oh, that's interesting, that actually gave me an idea that I didn't have prior to being in the room with this actor. So it's giving me another idea. So we tend to, for me personally, I tend to go back to the hiring the same people again, because when you have this kind of fun collaboration, then that's what you want. And then of course I always want to, if I'm working on a movie, if there are smaller parts, I want to encourage the new generation. So I do want to give them an opportunity to come for a small role and try it. And a lot of young actors, they come out, they just did a conservatory, they just did a school, and they're trained to, respect their teacher and respect the director. And, sometimes I would wish that it's like, no, look, I know you're wrong, you're young, and I know that you respect me, but now we're playing together.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm interested in, what are your ideas? What did you think? And I have more experience than you, and I can certainly guide you and help, but we're interested in what you have to offer, even if you don't have that much experience. Otherwise, we would be hiring someone who's been doing it for years. If you're in the room, that's because we're interested in working with you.
Exactly. It's you know what? You're a Montreal-based artist that moved in LA how many years ago?
9 years ago. 9.
Are you surprised when you say 9? Were you using your action?
It's like time flies. It's been 9 years.
And you're do you understand? Like, you're not directing in Montreal, you are directing in LA. Like, was this one of your dreams, or just happened because you?
So, I think that it's, I don't know. I'm from Montreal, and it's not, for me, it's not more impressive to be directing in LA than it would be to direct in Montreal. I would be as excited to do a project in Montreal than I am here.
We need you here,
because
though.
it happened that it was my journey. I found myself, I started my journey at AMDA in New York, I wanted to do musical theater. There was no, Lionel Gros didn't exist at the time. There's no other way to get training in musical theater. So that's where it started. And so I already had that reference. I wanted to study to become a director. I came to study here with Judith Weston. So it just happened that my schools and the people that were available to to teach me the stuff I wanted to do, but it was a dream to study at AMDA. It was a dream to study with Judith Weston, but then I would have been grateful to have a career anywhere. It just happened here, but I'm not saying that it's not gonna happen in Montreal one day.
We're waiting for you, Sargent. We're totally waiting for you, and we can't wait. We need more people like you. But look at this. She started, you heard her journey. She started at AMDA, but you're not saying that you're actually teaching in both campus, Los Angeles and New York. Now she is a teacher at AMDA. Like, I mean, I think it's a full circle. Sargent, if you know her, she works hard. And I would say, and she's taking time today for this interview because she's actually writing her featured film because she's winning so many awards on her Wichita, on her short film that's doing really, really well. So it just shows how dedicated, motivated, and everything is possible. Because if you're, I know you're already living the dream, but look at us here. You know how many people maybe want to go there and maybe want to, you know, even act or dance or do what you're doing, but you're actually directing. Yeah, I'm directing, and I would love to direct in Montreal. I mean, you made it. Like, I think it's a prize. It's beautiful.
Yes, but I think that anyone who gets in on this journey, it's going to get, with an accumulation of enough time, if you do all the workshops and you do the work, and you then eventually you'll be sitting in the position where I'm sitting in now. So it's really just, for me, it's just because of accumulation of time, then things do happen. I think that it's as exciting and as important for anyone that wants to, you know, how important it is and how great it is, how you're gonna improve your, you know, your family and your community, if by studying to become an artist. Even if you don't do it professionally, if you learn an instrument, if you learn to sing, if you learn to dance, if you learn to act, if you study it, if you practice it, it's gonna change you. It's gonna change you into a better person. It's gonna make you a better parent. It's gonna make you a better daughter. It's like it. And you know what? It doesn't matter our journey. I mean, I wanted to be a performer. I didn't know I was going to become a director. I realized that what's happening to me is pretty cool, especially because it's happening in Los Angeles. But in all honesty, the truth is, you know, anybody that goes on this kind of journey, they will be living the dream just by doing it, just by showing up to class every week. They're gonna be fulfilling their full potential. And we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know who's gonna win an award, who's gonna become a director, who's gonna make it on Broadway. And you know what? I don't think that's the most important part. I think there's something so much deeper and so much greater today, and that's the reason we do all this. And it's fun if people say, "Oh my God, you made it!" and look at you in LA. And I take it with a grain of salt. I say I've been having an extraordinary life for many years, way before the award. So this is my life. This is what I chose to. So the award is great, but it's like, you know.
I need to give you an award now for just saying that, because I feel like I've been repeating it here in Montreal, everything. And this is why I introduce you to all my friends, because I'm such a huge connector, and I'm so happy to have this team that we want the future for our beautiful city to grow, to keep growing, to expand, and to collaborate together. You used all the words. You know, I sometimes look at artists closing the doors, and it's okay because everybody has a journey. And I see I'm someone that just wants to open everybody's door. Look how beautiful it is here. Look how beautiful. This is, if we're happy, it's because it comes from somewhere. We're constantly doing, we're in the action. You were even saying in class, if I don't have my chart, and you've been doing this for how many years, you still need that chart in front of you because I want to know what I'm doing. And I'm the same way. And I respect that. I respect that. And that's how my mentors used to teach me. And this is how you're teaching the people that are in your class, whether they're already professionals or beginners. I mean, it's just nice that you keep giving your knowledge and experience and expertise. And maybe, who knows, you could get hired by Seljin because she sees something in you, and she won't let you go. And she doesn't, trust me. When you're on the hot seat, can I call it the hot seat? When you're on the hot seat with Seljin, you're not gonna, like, if you do one word, you're not gonna finish that sentence. We're gonna bring you back there until you know what you're doing. And it's so nice because it's so scary, challenging, but the best feeling in the world, because it's like a breakthrough in so many ways. I can't even describe it. You have to actually feel it and live it. I think we have to live it. So if you haven't had that breakthrough, I invite you to go back in classes, because I think you're going to discover your breakthroughs in whatever classes you are taking. And make sure to always be present and show up to opportunities, right? Showing up.
Yeah, I mean, if I may say something about breakthroughs, because that's another word that I go, because if we're always chasing the breakthrough, then we're not really doing the process.
True.
So the classes, the one-on-one coaching, that's one thing. The group classes is like you're going to be more prone to breakthroughs for some reason. It's a very safe environment. You're not alone. Must be like, you feel like the group is going to catch you, that I'm going to catch you. Like you see the person before you kind of go out of their comfort zone, and you go, okay, I'll go too. It's like you have the energy of the group, so that people they're able to go, okay, I'm going to try something different. And of course, that's where the magic happens. But it's okay. There are some students come in and for weeks, they don't really feel like they're having a breakthrough, and they do their homework and they're not sure. So everybody has their different timing. And, I think the hot seat is, I mean, we can't, it's always, being an actor, you put yourself in this vulnerable place where, everybody's gonna watch you, and everybody's gonna, and it's about saying, okay, so I'm gonna go, it's gonna be very uncomfortable. And then that's how I'm gonna practice with myself. How do I grow? How do I don't stay with, all the little tricks that I already know as an actor, and how do I grow a little bit? I have to, it's okay to be uncomfortable, and it's okay for me to go, no, a little bit further,
Well, it's nice having you
that's what's going on.
Yeah. It's nice having you there. I don't want to use the pushing word, but bringing, because you see it, there's like an intuition that happens. Oh no, she's almost there. She's just afraid to go there. Like you're refining, you're letting them develop that skill set. There's a lot of little tools that you're having that sometimes I'm watching you going, like you're watching Jeremy and you're with Shut Up. I'm watching you going, what is she going to say now? What is she going to do next? What is she going to direct? You don't know that I'm doing that, but I have my camera off going, what is she going to do next? How is she going to bring them there? And sometimes, I'm blown away because, with trust, there's that trust element. Because like you said, some people will go back at home and not understand the chart for weeks later. But when that flash comes up, then it's like, oh, okay, now we're ready to play. Right? So it's like that excitement, but sometimes it takes longer, and some people get it right away, and some people will analyze it too much, because there's a lot of information. It's not like 3, 2, 1 action, because it's not just words. It's not just a musical interpretation of how you feel and if you want to bring the pain. And no, there's actually work to do in the song before singing, before opening your mouth. You have to you prepare us before even opening your mouth. You actually change all the words to the song. So we actually say it in our own words, which I love that. I love that because then they connect to their words and then they put the words of the song and then it's like, boom, it becomes one.
Yeah, it's magic.
Yeah, it's called magic.
But it's pretty basic. It's pretty basic acting.
I love how you say
kind of saying, okay, how do we get that moment to sound realer? You know, people who prepare to do a Shakespeare monologue, that's how they do it, because it's very hard to make it real using this language. So first they say it in their own words, they find their truth, and then they start adding some of the, so we do the same for musical theater, for any,
for any kind of monologue work, scene work, anything, dubbing. Oh, I can't wait for that. So yes, Sergine teaches the dubbing, the voice work, the musical interpretation. Sergine, I have two last questions. What would you tell your younger self?
Oh my God, like what to do different?
I don't know. You're watching yourself now. I could see it. You're watching your growth.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, you know, of course, I think that, you know, I think in recent years, I realized something about me that there was always a part of me, even now, even up until recently, that, you know, the people are actually giving me awards for best directing, and I'm still wondering, am I really a film director? Like, do I really, you know, there was always part of me, because I started as a dancer and then I wanted to be an actress, and they told me, oh no, you can't, like, you have to switch, to choose, or, oh no, you can't really be an actor because you look too much like a dancer. And so there was always, through my journey, and that was not really a singer. I mean, I arrived at AMDA with maybe, I don't know, 4 months of training, vocal training, and very basic musical skills, and I had to work so hard just to get to that base point of being you know, a triple threat who could barely sing and who wasn't sure if she could act or whatever. And then after that, it was always on my, and then I wanted to be a director, but I was not really a director. I was more like a performer, right? It's like, oh, I didn't really consider myself a dancer. And it's just like, oh, shut up, you know, just go just direct it, and then do your homework. So stop saying that.
Wow.
Stop, you know, so that's probably what I would tell my younger self, to just, whatever you want to do, just don't worry, do I qualify as a director? Do I qualify? Am I really a triple threat? Am I really a singer? Am I, you know, please.
Yeah, please. But they do, but they do keep hiring you back and back and back. So that means,
and then it takes you all, because there are always going to be people that think that you shouldn't be there. No matter how many movies you directed, they still consider that you shouldn't be there. And so it's that part of you that believes them, instead of saying, no, I think I'm going to go ahead and believe the award right there.
Yes.
You know?
Right behind.
So when you're younger, if you don't have it, it's like, you believe in, you know, where you're going, and in your work and your commitment to where you want to go.
Okay, so now, where do you see yourself a year, 5 and 10 years from now? Like, what do you see the future? What does the future hold for director Sergine?
I mean, I really, you know, I love directing dubbing, and I love directing theater. I mean, theater is, you know, musical theater, everything on stage is always going to be my first true love. But I have to say now that, you know, making this film and working on the feature, I'm really excited about, you know, making movies. So I mean, I'd like to continue making movies.
Can you show us you have your award next to you? Because when it's behind you, you don't have it next to you anymore.
Yeah, it's here. This one, yeah, this one is mine.
Wow.
Yeah, and I really like, because I've never seen an award like this. You see how, like, depending on the angle,
Yes, it's gorgeous.
like you have fun colors.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You deserve it. Well done. You know what? I can't wait to see what you're going to be directing. And I hope you're going to be directing some of our future, some of our artists in the Academy, which it can be possible. It's possible. She landed there. I landed where I am. We're all landing somewhere because we're doing the work. We have a community. We have a support. Again, connect to people. I think that's huge. Open your own doors. Don't make us open. You open your own doors and go for it. Just walk. And like Session says, you said that in class though. Stop acting like your 12-year-old self. Go for it. Did you say something like that in class? Do you remember?
Oh my God, I say so many things.
You do, that I have to keep recording because it's so good.
Oh my God, what do I say? Yeah.
You don't remember. It's okay. I remember because I'm watching you and taking notes. Thank you so much, Sergine. And I can't wait for us to keep going. We see each other every week, even if you're in LA and sometimes comes down to Montreal or goes to Toronto or goes to New York because she's constantly going places.
I mean, not right now, not during COVID.
Well, not during COVID, of course.
Yeah.
But just to say, you're always a Zoom away. I love that. You're actually a Zoom away. And she's in class and she's going to deliver and explain and help you the way you need to be trained for what you want to do. Thank you so much, Sergine, for your time today.
Thank you. I'll see you very soon.
Very, very soon. All right, everyone.
Bye.
In the Academy.